Coheed and Cambria. Some people love them, others hate them with a fiery passion. It's not Claudio's voice, it's the fact that they sound too modern for some people. They don't like the term new-prog or progressive alternative. They can't count them amongst the elite. Even though his voice is just as different and just as one of a kind and unique to him as Geddy Lee of Rush. And of course, Rush, while it does have a polarizing fan base, also has a shitload of fans that love them. Domino the Destitute off of the AFTERMAN ASCENSION, which will be coming out in October. October is looking to be a absolutely huge month. I mean, it just seems like new release after new release is piling up. And what's cool about this is that right around that same time, we're going to be getting the new Between the Buried and Me album, which is the Parallax, the second part of the Parallax, and this is actually the first part of the Afterman, which is yet another concept-based double album. Well, this is a concept-based double album, however, another album that's based off of the Amory Wars, and this is the first single for it. Now, like these guys or hate them, you cannot deny the fact that they are exquisite writers of what would be really deemed as progressive alternative or new progressive, and it's not going to be as incredibly encryptic and incredibly, time signature change crazy as perhaps the prog that you know and remember. It has a little bit more of a melodic edge. It has a little bit more of an accessible edge. It's almost like prog rock for beginners. However, you cannot deny that they do have the structures that you certainly would not hear in songs that you would traditionally hear from artists on the radio, such as your Avenged Sevenfolds, your 3 Days Graces, and the Shinedowns of the world, whereas instead this band is able to really crank up the creativity, and maybe this song even wasn't even the best example of their ability to do so. Their ability to write long epics, not to mention just fantastic stories that really put you into the mindsets of the characters and really describe what is a long and very detailed and huge conflict that is now spanning, I believe, 6 or 7 albums. I mean, it is a wonder that they're able to accomplish this in general. So you have to give the guys a lot of credit for really taking this, noble concept that they had basically at the time of their inception and transform it into just a full-fledged franchise to the point where there's comic books and everything like that, and just a lot of merchandise, to the point there's going to be a coffee table book that is available in a special edition of this album that gives you a full song-by-song description and gives you more details to the war itself. Now, musically, this is something where it is not overly complicated. It is not going to be overly complex. However, its simplicity is actually where its strength occurs. This is something that's going to really be able to hook a lot of people in. And if this is a lot of people's and a lot of listeners' first exposure to Coheed and Cambria and to the Amory Wars saga, or Amory Wars, however you wish to say it, I really don't care. Nerds can debate on that all day if they want. If this is your first exposure, you have a lot of catching up to do. However, this is a band that does not necessarily spite you for that. Instead, you can jump in there and then you can listen to the old material and get yourself a little idea of what's going on. The cool part about these structures is that you can continue to listen again and again and again, and you may not necessarily filter through the exact message. And that's the reason why the comics and everything like that are really kind of important and kind of, spell it out for you a little bit if the lyrics alone don't do that. Musically and visually with the video that's going to be posted, the link is going to be posted in the description box, this definitely seems to be telling one individual side of the story, which is fair considering these wars are taking place over the course of like 78 different planets, and this is supposed to really be detailing with just one particular character. However, this song itself seems like it's focusing on one individual also, and there's going to be 3 other songs to this cycle that are all going to be present on the latter stage of the album that are going to really seem to be taking this same idea, this same concept, and taking it for 3 other different rides and kind of shifting it up. So it's going to be a very unique philosophy. And this song itself, like I said, while it isn't going to be overly complex, old school progsters may not necessarily be the biggest Coheed and Cambria fans because they're not watching or hearing time signature changes that make math just seem absolutely retarded and impossible. They are still leaps and bounds more creative than a lot of the other bands that are infiltrating the radio. And whenever you analyze this band as compared to other current trends, they certainly have a leg up. Not to say that they are going to be the most exquisite band on the planet. However, they are one band that certainly demands respect. Visually, the music video almost seems kind of odd, and just in the fact that it's trying to tell this unique story, and you have almost a different expectation going in. That's, you know, really showcasing a tale of deception, a tale of crime, a tale of, you know, really being in a situation where you have no other options, and you have to execute a plan to perfection in order to achieve the result that's desired. But even with that said, you could still lose everything. So whenever you watch this video, you may be a little confused. It may be a little something that you have to watch multiple times to fully get, but it certainly is worth it. The song is definitely worth it. It backs the music backs this music video perfectly. So overall, everything is just very nice, visually, musically, creatively. I'm excited for the remainder of this album, and the primary reason for that is because every single time they come out with an album, while the music itself might not necessarily be you know, titanically different, they always find a way to really rope you into the storyline, and that is something that they have to achieve well, considering they are undergoing such a huge concept. So definitely check it out, and whenever October the 9th comes around and we see the AFTERMAN ASCENSION released, you guys should definitely be the first in line at your local record store to pick it up, because it certainly seems, because of this song that I've reviewed, to be a heck of an album that could potentially have implications here at the end of the year.